Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Dan Perkins, the head football coach at Port Huron. How's it going?
Going great. A little rainy today. We got pretty wet, but it's going pretty good.
All right. So just talk about how these first few weeks of practice have gone for you guys.
Sure. So last week I thought we started pretty fast, and the kids took to what we were trying to get pretty well. The effort was great, and like I said, things went fast, and they're picking things up in a good pace, and practice has been at a good pace. Yeah, we're pretty excited. Things have started well.
All right. All right. Well, now it's time to talk about some of the guys that are going to be returning for your team this year, and some of the guys that are some of the guys to watch. Let's start with the skill positions and go from there.
Right. So our quarterback, Amari Haller's back. He's a third-year player. He was an all-league player last year, and we look for a big season out of him. He's got a couple of college offers and has really started well, running and throwing the ball. From there, Gavin Troy is his backfield mate at running back. Gavin was our league MVP last year, and he's a third-year player as well. So that tandem really sets the tone for us. And I think running the ball wise between those two, we're going to be pretty solid up at doing that. Up front, our wide receiver core, we have Noah Adams, who was with us last year. He's a super speedy kid, and he goes up and catches the ball real well, as well as a couple of new guys. Derek Gregasevich is a junior this year. Again, another fast kid. He had a really, really good 7-on-7 summer. Really runs really good routes, and he's got great hands. And Peyton Mullins is a senior that didn't play with us last year, but joined this year with us, and he brings another speed dynamic as well as some really sure hands. So we're pretty excited about our offensive group. We also have Owen Palmer and Jalen Young that are going to run the ball a little bit for us. That Owen was with us all year last year, and Jalen for about half the year. So we've got some real weapons, I think, speed-wise, and knowing the scheme and where to go with the ball. So we're excited about it.
All right. Let's go to the offensive and defensive line.
Yeah. So we returned now 4 starters on our offensive line. At least part-time starters. Noah Myuri anchors the bunch. He's a third-year player that is another kid that's got some college offers and things such as this. He's a really big, strong boy. He's a 500-pound squat type of kid, and his feet are moving really well. Chris Hinojosa was also centered for us last year all season. It's not for sure what he's going to be doing position-wise this year, but a big body that really moves well and has adapted to our scheme real well. Aiden Chavez is a senior coming back at tackle, and Joey Seppo is a guard that's coming back with us as well. So we've got some pretty good experience up front. And I think looking at it through camp, that's going to translate into some pretty good things. We're not super deep, and we did have some injuries already line-wise, so hopefully those guys can get back pretty quickly. But we had an arm bone bruise and a thumb, so a few things that are kind of nipping at us right now, but hopefully those things heal up and we'll be okay. Defensively, a lot of those guys are turning around, going to play both ways, along with some help with some support. But Gavin Troy is a linebacker for us that really makes plays all over the field. Amari's going to play a little bit in the secondary. Owen Palmer, another really strong. He played all year for us last year at the safety spot. It's really nice to have returner with all the smarts that he has and his speed in the back. Up front, Drew Hoffman is a junior now. He's going to be playing a defensive end for us, and we like what he's bringing. Noah and Joey and Chris all play in the interior line. So, along with Parker Quinn, who's a junior at middle backer, we got some pretty good speed. We have some returners at each level of our defense that's really going to help out everybody. So we're pretty excited.
Yeah. All right. Now you also talked about linebackers and secondary there. Well, let's talk about special teams. Where are we at there?
Yeah, so we got a third-year kicker, Griffin Hansel, that'll handle our kickoffs and our place kicking. Griffin's really, really solid. I think he was either set a record for field goals last year or was right next to it. And his extra points were right on point. I think he only missed one, if any. So Griffin really, really helps us be able to score when we need to score. And handling the other kicking duties. Owen Palmer's might do some kicking off for us, as well as Gavin doing some punting and Owen. So I know that's a repeat of a lot of names there, but
Yeah.
these guys are, some of it's going to be a little Iron Man-ish that way, and they're going to play a lot of football, but we feel real solid. Our junior varsity last year had an undefeated season, so those guys that are now juniors are going to really contribute quite a bit all around. So we feel real good about everything.
All right, we've talked about the players, and now let's talk about the schedule. I'll just read it off here real quick. Starting off at home against New Baltimore Anchor Bay to start week 1. Then on August 31st, home against East Point week 2. September 8th at Warren Mott. September 15th, home against Fraser. September 22nd at Port Huron Northern. September 29th, home against Lance Cruz North. October 6th at Sterling Heights. October 13th, home against Warren Fitzgerald, and finishing out the season, October 20th, finishing out the regular season, October 20th at Marysville. Of course, pretty good schedule. The MAC Blue always brings a lot of competitiveness, and then just kind of talk about what the schedule is going to look like this year.
Yeah, so first of all, we have 7 of those games are either in our field or at Marysville. Which is a really, really different schedule. We only have to take 2 long bus rides, and usually that is there 3 or 4 of them. So we are happy about that. I can tell you that much. Staying at home in Memorial. But as far as our league goes, we have to deal with Warren Mott first of all. That'll be week 3, a big test for us, and playing them at their place will be a big task. They're always a good football team. Their coach has been doing a long time, and he does a great job. Lance Cruz North as well. It's a Division I team that has a lot of kids. I know I've seen them this year a little bit at some lineman things, and they have some big kids. So they had been down. I know their coaching staff pretty well, and they're feeling pretty good about what they got going this year. Of course, Port Huron Northern and us, it's a big battle every year. They do a great job, and so that is something that'll be its own beast, as it were, and a big battle. But you're also looking at Fraser in the league, who is another big Division I team. So they present their own challenges as well. So our schedule's formidable, certainly. Starting out with Anchor Bay is biting off quite a bit with the MAC Red team. But we were fortunate to get more of a local team to play. And so we're looking forward to that game to kind of test where we're at right off the giddy up, because they'll be formidable, no doubt about it. They nearly have double the amount of students we have, so that'll be a great challenge for us.
Absolutely. All right, so we're talking about. So I know a lot of teams, almost every team will have a scrimmage this week. Where are you guys heading, and what do you want to see out of that, and also these next few practices before we head into that first game?
Sure. So we're scrimmaging against Roseville again. It's just us and them
Okay,
at Roseville this year. Roseville's a heck of a strong program right now, and what they do is going to be kind of similar to what Anchor Bay does. So that'll be a really good scrimmage for us. But they have some really fast, strong people. Coach Snowden there has been doing a fantastic job with their kids and their program. And so really what we're looking forward to is that a lot of great individual efforts, but more really team cohesiveness, I guess you want to say, and being able to play within our responsibilities, both offensively and defensively. And I think last year when we got to our scrimmage, there was a lot of breakdowns that way that we had to tackle going into the first week and second week, and we were continuously working on just making sure our assignments were right. And so we've really focused on that throughout camp, and have done some drills just based upon hitting your assignment, knowing your assignment, and doing it. And I will continue to do that the next couple of days. And I think talent-wise, we've got enough talent and strength to be able to do some good things, but we have to do it within the realm of the scheme, and not have breakdowns. And that's going to be a big deal for us going into Thursday.
all right. Well, Dan, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck to you guys this coming season.
Yeah, great. Thank you for having me. Hopefully things go well for the new Redhawks.